and welcome to the news on Magic Bricks Now, India's first property channel. I'm Suesha Sound. Let's take a look at the top headlines at this hour. In Mumbai, home buyers are up in arms against their developer. Home buyers allege cheating and misappropriation. Ask authorities despite an FIR against 4 directors of Kamla Landmark. Why no action? Builder body CREDAI meets RBI Chief Raghuram Rajan in the 1-hour-long brainstorming session. CREDAI bosses present plan to boost housing credit. RBI Governor Rajan discussed cost of funds for both the customer and the industry and priority sector lending. Pune civic body PMRDA takes a tough stand against illegal construction in the city. Plans phase-wise demolition drive. 76,000 illegal buildings have been identified and notices have been sent out. Buildings that cannot be regularized will be demolished. Almost a week after filing an FIR against Mumbai developer Kamla Landmark, home buyers allege that the police investigation is very slow. Alleging cheating and breach of trust, home buyers in 2 different Kamla Landmark projects filed an FIR against the company last week. In fact, buyers allege that over 3,000 families in 8 Kamla Landmark projects are waiting for delivery of homes for which they have paid up to 90% of the cost. Disha Shah caught up with some of these home buyers. Listen in.
It was just last week on Thursday where 2 home buyers had registered an FIR against Kamla Landmark developer in Mumbai for breach of trust and for cheating. In fact, buyers in the FIR alleged that in 2012 they had booked flats with Kamla Landmark developer for 2 of these projects, that is one Atlantis in Bhandup and one in Mahakali Cave Road. In fact, both the FIRs, buyers alleged that they had paid more than 90% of the money to the developer, and till today on ground we are in 2016 and no construction has been going on. In fact, the construction is stalled. In fact, this is just a smaller picture. Here we talk about 3,000 families who are affected and are facing the similar situation. In fact, I am joined here by the buyers.
I've invested 93 lakhs in Atlantis, and that was in July 2012. We had paid 93 lakhs for a 3 BHK flat, approximately 1,800 square feet. So far, nothing has come up. The ground is plain. Not even, construction has started. We contacted the builder through many sources, like the lawyers have sent notices. Grak Panchayat also has sent notices, but he has not responded to any of the notices.
I had invested in a commercial project because I wanted to expand my business in 2007. I have invested almost about 1.9 crores, including stamp duty and other registration charges. Current status is, although the building has come up, there is no OC. There are craters created by BMC because there's a lot of illegal construction.
My father had invested in 3 projects and now he is no more, and I've lost the head of the family and we are in a lot of financial crisis.
I had invested in the year 2013 in a project called as Kamla Grandeur in Mulund. After that, after a span of 1 year, I have been following it up since there was no follow-up and there was no calls, no communications. And then finally I sent a legal notice, and on that they had certain rounds of meeting, and they said that my amount will be transferred to the another project in Andheri Marol called as Kamla Equina. They have constructed up till only 5th slab at that point of time. It is an SRA project. The SRA building has come up, and they entered me into an agreement. I have taken a housing loan, but from that point, that is in the year now 2014, as on date, there is nothing that has come up ahead.
We invested in 2012, and after that I was just inquiring my builder what is happening with this project, but he was every time he was taking giving some other reason, and till today work has not been done. So after 2015, I just started going to police stations, various police stations I had been, and finally after 6 months of efforts, I am successful to get done FIR against this builder.
The opportunity is that he flash out very good websites, good brochures. He have connection with very good brokers who have fooled these people. So it's high time now, commissioners should look into the matter, and multiple projects are there. They are in the local police station, his FIR should be registered and he should be put behind bars.
He said that he'll give us a buyback offer. That means he'll keep the flat with him and return our money with interest, 17% interest. So far, he has not done anything.
अभी तक कुछ डेवलपमेंट नहीं हुआ है. जब भी हम ऑफिस में जाते हैं, टर्मिनल 9 पे उनका ऑफिस है, तो हमको ऊपर जाने को ही नहीं देते. वहाँ बाहर से कि है ही नहीं, कोई नहीं है. हम जाके मैं 6 से 7 बार जाके आया हूँ, कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं है.
I had taken a big loan for this commercial project, and the loan sanction was 1.8 crores. And you can imagine the interest that I've been paying along with the reimbursement, with no income coming from business because I couldn't expand it. I'm completely lost, and I'm not able to put it on rent nor sell it. I want my money back. I don't trust this builder. Nothing else can do for me. I want my money back with interest.
Now, we'd also like to add that Magic Bricks now wrote to Kamla Landmark seeking a response on the buyer's allegations. The developer responded to us through message, and they told us that they will get in touch with us on the 29th of June. Up next on your screen are exclusive photos from a closed-door meeting of the RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan and representatives of real estate industry body CREDAI. The meeting took place this morning. In this hour-long meeting, industry representatives raised various concerns faced by the real estate sector, chief being liquidity. Kavita Krishnan gets us exclusive details on this meeting.
This is also a very critical meeting for the sector, because it is not every day that developers, that CREDAI gets to meet the RBI governor. Typically, now let me tell you this, that this was a meeting that was called at the behest of RBI. So RBI called for this meeting. Typically what happens is that developers try and meet the RBI, CREDAI, or developer bodies like CREDAI ask for a meeting with the RBI. Let me take you through who all attended this meeting. So you had the entire office bearers, all the office bearers more or less of CREDAI present over there. There's Gitambar Anand that you can see. You can see Satish Magar, Irfan Razak, you can see Jakshesh Shah, you can also see Mayur Shah over there. Also Anuj Puri of JLLs is part of that meeting. Now what these gentlemen essentially asked RBI was for three main things. One is that they discussed liquidity concerns that the sector is facing. They wanted easier access to cheaper finance, which was a prime concern that they raised. Also, they wanted the entire RBI definition of affordable housing, kind of reviewed. And they wanted easier loan restructuring norms. Now, let me take you through this. As far as affordable housing is concerned, RBI defines it as homes under 60 square meters of carpet area. Now, CREDAI has requested RBI that they review this and increase it to at least 80 square meters of carpet area, which is generally what you find in the bigger cities. The other big thing that they've asked is that, banks should be allowed to fund purchase of land. Currently, bank only funds construction. They give you construction finance, and that too after a certain level of construction in the particular project. So now they are asking that bank fund land buys, second purchase of TDR, and purchase of premium FSI, which is a charge that a lot of development bodies have started levying of late. Another thing that they've asked for is easier ECB, or external commercial borrowing norms. Currently, real estate is on the negative list as far as ECB is concerned. If this comes through, then obviously the sector as a whole will have access to cheaper funds, because we know for a fact that banks in foreign countries, for instance, would give loans at 2 to 3% versus the 14 to 16% that real estate companies are currently paying as interest for the loans that they take. And finally, they want easier loan restructuring norms, ideally on the lines of what infrastructure companies are getting. And this has been a long-standing demand of the sector.
Moving on, let's now shift focus to Pune. Strict action on illegal constructions is the message of the local government in Pune. Development body PMRDA has decided to cut off the electricity and water supply for illegal buildings. Now, in fact, to understand this better, we have PMRDA Chairman Mahesh Zagare with us. Welcome to Magic Picks now, Mr. Zagare. Firstly, I'd like to ask you, now you have created an app to identify illegal constructions with the help of proactive citizens. How many requests have you received up till now and how many have been cleared?
So this is the new beginning of getting participation from all the quarters to contain illegal constructions, and therefore we wanted participation of the people also. Therefore, this is one of those initiatives to involve people to report illegal constructions and thereby to increase the level of reporting, apart from what we are doing through our own official machinery. This is addition to that. This app, after launching, which was first Android and then now iOS also, is catching up. So far, we have received 400 odd complaints. We have to go through the complaints, find out whether they are really genuine. Some people even post selfies also. So we do the background check and then we issue notices. Now we are in the process of issuing notices to all those who have, wherein we have received the complaints. 1 month of period is given for reply to the notice. Then we give a proper hearing as provided in the law, and then we go in for the actual demolition. So far we have filed 6 FIRs against the people who have constructed illegally, and in 2 cases we have actually carried out the demolitions also.
All right, so tell us that how many illegal buildings have you documented so far which fall under the jurisdiction of PMRDA?
It is like this. My predecessor organization, that is this before PMRD was formed, this was being controlled by the district administration, that is the collector. And according to their estimates, there are about 76,000 illegal constructions around Pune in PMR region. That list we are trying to seek from them, because the lists are available with Tahsildars at block levels and then they will be collected and given to us. We are trying to request them to expedite sharing of this list. This is 1. 2, we are not just depending on that list. We are trying to set up our own machinery by involving a contractor to go in the field and get the information. Apart from the apps, our own people are also there in the field. So we do not have the actual figure, but it could be in the range of 75 to 80,000 illegal constructions around Pune in the area of about 7,600 square kilometers.
Okay, so how many of these projects are you taking action against, and what kind of action are you going to take?
See, what has happened, like it is not that every construction is illegal. We give fair chance as provided in the law to explain whether it is legal or illegal. If it is a legal construction, they can give reply to us and give their proposal for regularization of this proposal by paying the fine that is provided in the law. So we do not just go on the spree of demolishing the thing. If it could be regularized, if it follows all the norms and rules and regulations, then we try to regularize it. We get this information only after we get reply from the people, and then if it is found that it is still an illegal structure, it cannot be regularized, then we order demolition.
Also tell us, Mr. Zagare, which are the locations which you have found the problem most rampant in?
See, it is like wherever there is rapid urbanization, like Ambegaon, Nare, and all these places. And of course, it is not just limited to these areas, but wherever it was possible for people to do the construction without the knowledge of administration, they used to do it. But now, when we started demolitions, there is definite shift, and there is definite drop in the illegal constructions, especially in Manjri area where it used to be rapid. But once our mass action starts, I believe these constructions will come down.
All right, now before we let you go, one last question would be, are you planning to take any action against the architects?
It is not just the architects, but it is also the structural engineers and those who are involved. If we find that some architect is involved, and if there is a legal connection between the illegal building developer and the architect or the structural engineer, then yes, we are going to do it. And in our criminal action, we are also going to involve these people, those who are aiding and abetting these criminalities.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on Magic Bricks Now. In what comes as a welcome move, the Haryana government has slashed circle rates by 15% in Gurgaon. These reduced rates will have a direct impact on the property markets. Industry experts predict homes in Gurgaon are expected to be cheaper. For the first time in a decade, the government has slashed circle rates to 15% across segments. The new reduced circle rates will be applicable from the 28th of June. Now, to give us more perspective on this, we are joined by Ramesh Menon from Certis Realty. Now, Ramesh, thank you so much for joining us on Magic Bricks Now. Firstly, I'd want to ask you, will this move have an immediate impact on property prices in the Gurgaon market?
Okay, so I don't really think there's going to be an immediate impact on the pricing of the Gurgaon finished products, namely residential or commercial. And you see, the prices are a subject of the free market, and I don't see a demand surge happening any immediately. So it's a good confidence building measure probably from the government side to reduce the collector rate or circle rates, but it is not going to really impact the pricing on a very immediate basis. So this will actually help the investor community liquidate some of their inventory and probably prop up the secondary market. On the primary market, the impact will only come by the further softening of the prices by the producer or the manufacturer. So the secondary market, a lot of investors who had bought inventory maybe a few years back, they will get some relief in terms of liquidating their unsold inventory.
All right, so help us understand how will reduced circle rates help the end users or home buyers per se?
Not immediately so, not at all in the short term for the end buyer, because the end buyer is looking at affordable products in the price band that he seeks. So it is not really dependent on the circle rate or the collector rate, which is determined on an annualized basis. So I see no immediate offtake in the housing stock in Gurgaon. So two things will happen from this, right? One, the Gurgaon market will become more competitive in the NCR markets. Namely, when you compare it with a Faridabad or a Noida. And the second thing is, with the investor community being able to liquidate part of their inventory, they will have increased liquidity. Now the question is whether that incremental liquidity will get reinvested into Gurgaon, into the finished stock, which I think is a little suspect, because the investor community does not see a price increase happening over the next 12 to 18 months, which would mean that an incremental value add over the interest cost.
That's an important point you've made, Ramesh, but also tell us, will this encourage developers to deliver cheaper homes? I mean, are you also looking at other markets to have similar circle rate cuts?
Not really. You see, the developers are more governed by the demand and supply. As long as the supply is higher than the demand, a correction downward in this case in the collector rates is not really going to affect the market in that kind of a deal as the developer community would like to sell the euphoria as. Yes, it was a necessary step, because when we had a kind of a near bull run over the past few years, the collector rates also kept going up, and more so in the case of plotted development. But when you look at the finished stock today, or ready to occupy kind of product stock, I see not too great an impact of these collector rates on the pricing.
All right, Ramesh Menon, thank you so much for joining us on Magic Bricks Now. Moving on. Maharashtra government has come up with an innovative plan to increase the green cover in the state. Now plant a tree and get money from the government. Yes, you heard that right. To give the depleting green cover in Maharashtra a shot in the arm, the Maharashtra government is planning to give green credit to people who will plant trees. As per the proposed plan, any person who plants trees can sell it to the government. The government says they will in fact even pay the green soldier almost thrice the rate of nurturing the tree. In this one-of-a-kind novel scheme, the government will choose the types of trees that will be included in this scheme. Trees like babool, teak and neem will be included in this list. The scheme will be implemented in some districts of Marathwada and then it will be expanded into other parts of the state. The Forest Department is now all set to appoint a committee that will oversee, inspect and implement this Go Green drive. To keep a check, the team will hold an inspection on the day of planting and geotag the area. Each tree will have a unique code to prevent fudging of figures. Moving on, heavy rains in Mumbai exposed BMC's poor preparation this year. Mumbaikars were welcomed by bumper-to-bumper traffic across the city. But we will keep our promise to you to help you weather the monsoon. If your area is flooded, if you get stuck in a train or a car because of waterlogging, or if there is a tree that has fallen somewhere which is holding up traffic, and if you're there, please take pictures, videos, location, tag them and tweet or email them to us. Post it on our Facebook page just like Aprajita did. We have got an assurance from the BMC that they will act on the information we send them. So we will reach out to them and track the action they take. Reach out to us in the meanwhile. Magic Bricks Now will help you weather the monsoon. Moving on, let's now talk about interiors. A home is a reflection of the individual that resides in it, from the living space to the kitchen to the bedroom. Each space reflects a different aspect of our personality. If you've been planning to jazz up your bedroom but with minimalistic palette, then here's a slice of this week's episode of the Interiors Show to help you out.
So this is the only room that's actually visible from the living room, which is why we've continued the molding. Plus it's adding a little rich classic touch, which is why we've added in this room.
Tell me about the color palette. It's mostly brown and white.
Correct. We've stuck to a very basic color palette so that the room looks very cozy, since there are only two of them.
Yeah.
They come back from a hard day and they just want to just chill in bed and enjoy. Keeping our room color combinations in mind, we obviously didn't want to add those loud bed sheets and bed covers, which is why we managed to get this one. We were really lucky to find this, in fact, which just blended with the entire room. The wardrobe was already made, and then they decided they wanted a bigger TV, which is why we had to cut into the wardrobe space to fit the TV, which is also adding a nice detail to the wardrobe shutter as well.
Was it too difficult to get it caught and get the TV fit in there?
Luckily, behind the TV, the space we haven't touched. It's hollow. So we just had to, this 6 inches depth we had to increase it on the sides. We've just added the ply and the laminate and increased only this much.
And how about the headboard? In fact, I observed that for the first time in the house, you've actually used a Chesterfield headboard.
Correct. It was just going with the whole molding look, because Chesterfield obviously has that classic luxury feel to it, which is why we've gotten the headboard itself. It's made out of leather, so it's not that tough to maintain.
And how about the flooring?
So this is vinyl flooring. It is very economical because the flooring was already made here earlier. So we didn't want to spend too much on it. It's hardly 75-80 rupees per square foot. It's very easy to maintain and it's giving you that wooden finish look.
Okay, so tell me about the other rooms then. The guest room, there's one guest room also. So there you've introduced splashes of color.
Correct.
How have you done that?
There we've added this rustic green color wall, which is adding enough color for the entire room. The other walls are all neutral. On the ceiling, we've put this cornice just to add the classic touch to it, but not at the same time give it the same feel as this room.
Okay.
The wardrobes also are there. We've added this MDF design. It's like a molding, but that also is done in PU and it's matching the walls.
With that, we've completely run out of time. It's a wrap on this edition of the Property News on Magic Bricks Now. This is Suesha Sawant signing off. Thank you so much for watching.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/Magic Bricks Now.